the truth! You can't handle the truth!
What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. Someone gave me an idea at Nemesis Agenda. Uh, he gave me an idea. We've worked together on several things before in the past. He is part of an original think tank, I guess you would call it, of myself and several other people from different locations around the world. We talk about different things, and it was a really cool thing that we used to have going on and everything. We emailed and all this other stuff like that, presenting ideas, and we also sometimes got together in group chats. Anyway, Nemesis went ahead and gave me an idea pertaining to certain things that's going on right now, and it has to deal with events that's been going on, and also with interstellar objects. Over the past 8 years, we've had three visitors from outer space, if you want to call it, outside of our solar system. That's been Oumuamua, the Borisov, whatever you would call it, and then Atlas. Now, over that period of time, it's been 8 years, and we've had three interstellar objects. Now, of course, they don't time out the way I'm looking at this thing, but it averages out that we have one interstellar object over every 2.8 years. And that's kind of symbolic and everything like that, guys, because it's coming up on a situation here, I do believe in August, that would be pertaining to that. But anyway, before I get too much more into it, he accounted these events, these interstellar objects, with events and acquainted them with the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and gave me an idea on this. And I went ahead and looked into it and everything like that, and seen some revealing things here, connections that hopefully you enjoy listening to. I do appreciate any comments you got, make, thumbs up, and all that stuff like that, guys, because it helps the channel grow. And if I grow, we all grow, right? I can do better, get more stuff going on. But anyway, leave a comment, guys, even if it's just hey or whatever. YouTube algorithms is not really putting out the right numbers, okay, guys? I watched my subscriptions go back and forth one day, 2 or 3 different times. And I watched the video count of people that watched the video rise and fall over a period of 2 or 3 days, go up and then back down and back up again, and also comments disappear. So if you would, please just leave a comment of some kind. Let me know that you did watch. That way I can compare this to what YouTube is saying, and we'll get to the bottom of what's going on with this. And I'm not the only one that's noticing this, guys. There's channels from all over the place, and many higher level channels, if you want to call it, better production channels and everything, well-known channels that's experienced the same thing. The loss of viewership, the loss of numbers, even from day to day, and things like this. So we went through this before back in 2018, and there was a clearinghouse after that. So if you would just leave a comment, let me know that you watched. Another thing, guys, watch all the way through the video, because they keep count of that. If you just watch the first couple of minutes and click out, well, it don't really do a whole lot for the algorithms, and we got to feed the algorithms now. So I don't know if they eat bologna or what, but we got to feed the algorithms. And the only way to do that is to play the game with their numbers. All right. Now, hopefully you help me with that. And therefore, we can go ahead and start beating these number games that they keep putting on us, presented by artificial intelligence. Okay. And hopefully we can help grow. So anyway, I'll go ahead and present the video. I'm going to cut this right here, right now, and go into the other part of production. And I hope you enjoy the show, guys. Y'all have a groovy day. Later, taters. Before we get started with this video into the subject matter, I want to bring out some information first, okay? The first interstellar object, Oumuamua, which is named the Visitor or the Messenger, appeared on January 20th, 2017. That's right around the time Donald Trump came into office the first time. Now, it left and everything like that. Then the next one, Borisov, whatever you want to call it, came in 8/30, 2019. Yes, just a little over a year and a half later. But that's when Trump started getting hammered by all the rhetoric going around in the world. And soon after, he lost favor, and he lost the election in 2020. than a year later, and Biden came in office. Well, the next interstellar object came in, Atlas. They said it was sighted on uh, 7/1/25, which is the August 1st, 2025. And that's 6 months, about 6 months after Trump came into office. Again, the second term, okay? Now, these points might mean something in the beginning, but as I said earlier, a lot of these apply to different things that is going on uh, as far as timelines and events going on. So this is all AI created imagery, guys, and a lot of this is AI created. So deal with it. All right. One of the things I want to point out is we all heard that death rides a pale horse. Well, I always thought of it as being a white horse. It's pictured here on the left-hand side. And to be honest with you, I thought that was the pale horse, a pale white horse. I'm sure a lot of people learned this in church or heard about this and everything and thought it was a white horse. But actually, the pale horse, when I looked it up, according to AI, it indicated someone that looks sickly, poor health, ill, very ill, and everything. A sickly green, a greenish gray color, and that green gray color kind of kicked in my mind. So I asked AI to go ahead and represent the death here. I'm sorry, as an alien. Okay. You don't show it so much here, guys, but yeah. Um, Anyway, we have the names of the four horsemen of the apocalypse: famine, plague, war, then death. All right. I won't go ahead and go into it as it was presented to me by Nemesis Agenda, how these things relate. Now, famine, which is the first one that comes in, if you go with your biblical reference and everything, famine is the very first one. Now, Oumuamua, the messenger, was the first interstellar object that came in 2017. And this is an image given to me by artificial intelligence based off of files of what it looked like. Now, in 2017, we had these numbers right here about food shortages all over the world, global food shortages. 124 million people in 2017 face acute food insecurity. The peak acute crisis happened from 2016 to 2017. Nigeria, Somalia, South Sudan, Yemen. And remember, guys, we're at odds with both of these places, Sudan and Yemen. Recent years show that 23, there's 282 million in high levels of acute hunger. And in 2024, the number rose again. 295 million people face acute hunger. This all deal with the thing about the famine, and projects in 25 and 26 up another 318 million facing food crisis or worse at level 5 or worse. And it's getting worse, guys. Of course, we know what's going on in the world about this, that, and the other. Grasslands and places where people can grow food. Now, chronic hunger also declined slowly after long-term improvements, but from 2019, sharp drop or rise, if you will, due to the pandemic. And in 2019, 581 million was baseline pre-spike, 733 million in 23, and in 2024, a slight improvement by about 40 million less. But also, together, guys, it's 8.2% of the population was in chronic food need. Okay, and that's pretty bad. All right, but still, it's going up, guys. It's still going on. Current events going on, and things are going to go bad. And here's some more information about it and everything. The different numbers and everything that you can read here. Anytime you want to pause the video, look at the numbers, look them up yourself. Do your own research, guys. But these numbers are the facts. And the key trends from 2019, gradual progress in many areas, but major reversal due to pandemic, supply chain issues, and conflicts. Hunger rose sharply. The plateau level, high level persists, driven by conflict, primary factor, climate extremes, and economic shocks. Acute hunger has increased annually since 2019. Again, that's when Borisov came in. It all started when Oumuamua. Africa worsened, worst affected, 20%, over 20% undernourished in 24, 307 million people. Global food production remains sufficient overall, but access issues, poverty, conflict, and prices drive shortages, insecurity. Health, diet, affordability improve slightly in some metrics. Natural disasters and climate exchange has really pushed this. Also, as well as pests, disease outbreaks, locust swarms in 22 and 21 East Africa. People worried about it in the United States and other places around the world. Wars and conflicts going on and other things. There's boilers and dust and accidents and everything. And since it did mention accidents, I went ahead and looked at food production facilities that got blown up. Now, we heard about these over the last several years, guys, and the numbers they say here is really kind of misleading. We know there was an increase in food facilities, explosions, burnings, and stuff like this going on, and supply lines going to these food production facilities. So they said no significant increase in 2017 to 21. Media highlighted the 20 fires in U.S. food processing facilities, but we heard about more. Isolated incidents in 23 to 25, but we know better. We also know about the poultry cleansing because of bird flu, as they said. Not only the United States, but guys around the world. In Canada, they was killing off turkeys and everything else. And not recently, they killed off a bunch of other, not ostriches, but emus or something like that. But guys, they're going crazy. Here in Pennsylvania, there's an outbreak of bird flu, even though there's no record of it, and they want to kill off all the chickens here in the state. So this is, some of the things going on. So we got that going on, guys. So yeah, there was a major food shortage and a loss of food supplies over the past several years, leading up to severe drought, famine conditions for the world. All right, that's the truth, guys. You know about it. We heard about it. We see it. So you can't deny it. So Oumuamua and famine go together. Oh, that one's out of line. What happened here? That's not supposed to be there. Well, we can consider these the Hunger Games, guys, really. The food shortages and everything like that was producing hunger worldwide, and it was hard to get food, so the Hunger Games. Yeah, these are way out of shape, guys. I'm sorry. Hank, give me a second here. Yeah, they're way out of. Anyway, okay. I'm sorry, guys. This is a picture from the Hunger Games, guys. The big city in the Hunger Games, and that's going to be coming important too later on, guys. This is supposed to be in that later, but anyway. And this is Kazakhstan, and I don't know if you noticed the resemblances between the two, sort of simulated resemblances between Kazakhstan, the capital of Kazakhstan, which is Astana, or whatever it's called, which is an anagram for Satan. But yeah, this is the capital city in Hunger Games, and it's the capital city in Kazakhstan. You know what I'm talking about? Kazakhstan. Sorry. Anyway, our next one here on the board is plague. All right, that's what this one is represents. The pale horse, the white horse, is plague. And as we know, that what happened in 2019. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Was that this is representation of Borisov, the interstellar object came in. This is also an AI rendition, guys. So don't give me a grief about it. But this is what they told us it looked like from the description. Now, of course, during that time we had COVID, the pandemic outbreak and everything that went across the globe, and I already discussed this in another video. So we don't spend too much time on it. But I did note that guys want to note that because of this, they had 16 million different mutations of this virus. And even now, still then now, guys, we still got other respiratory ailment outbreaks going on globally, all from this 2019 outbreak, so-called outbreak of this pandemic that covered the globe. That's enough on that. The next one is war, and we don't need to spend too much time on that, guys, because we are at war. with Iran, and I think it's going to be bigger than that coming up soon. I got some stuff about this, but Atlas came into being about the beginning of the war, right before Iran started really stepping up things in the Middle East, and then we joined in. So it came in, and the war didn't break out until just after it left our view. It's still around Jupiter, flying around Jupiter and checking it out before it leaves the solar system. But yeah, so as soon as it got to Jupiter, guys, war broke out in the Middle East. Kind of coincidental, right? Well, like I say, I'm not going to spend too much on with it. There's reasons for it, and whether they want to tell us the truth or not. Uh, but we know they have reasons that they produce and the reasons why they do it behind the scenes. And it's all part of the prophecy, guys. You know, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And they had to force this agenda down our throats and make it come true. All right. So here's some more information about it and everything. Israel's problem with them and the United States problem with Iran. And we're not going to really spend too much time on it, but guys, it's a hoax. The whole thing is staged. And then next is death. Now, I went ahead and asked AI to go ahead and present this. This is where the image gets kind of bad, guys. I went ahead and told AI to give death the mask of an alien because recent talks coming out of the White House and Pentagon about releasing UFO data and all that stuff. And I said, well, figure death would be an alien, right? And in my opinion, perhaps because we've got so much talk about it. So we know there's going to be a release of data coming soon. And this is what AI represented as what this Atlas, this new asteroid or interstellar object would look like. Again, look at all the loose rocks around it, guys, flying with it, all of them loose and scattered around it. And, we already know that this is a possibility. All right. So I'm not going to spend too much time, guys, but stop this video if you want to look at it a little bit more. Again, this is AI created, not my creation, not my idea. And this ties into the Anglo-Saxon mission, guys, because if this is death coming from above, from an impact or other kind of things like that, well, this plays into record with Anglo-Saxon mission and the preparations they had been making going underground into the mountains, into Greenland and other places that may not be tragically impacted by the incoming debris from this thing. We even call this Nemesis system or the and all this other stuff, guys, with the Nemesis and I'm sorry, I'm having brain farts right now. But all the debris field that comes with it, all the other planets that comes with the Nemesis system, and everything like that, guys. So this is a strong possibility. We talked about the loss of gravity also, guys, on August 12th, and as you see here in just a minute. Now, Agenda 2030 refers to an agenda for sustainable development adopted by all 193 UN member states in September of 2015. The other video I made, guys, was the talk was covered from a 2005 meeting, and the video was made that I talked about was made in 2010. So every 5 years now, we have this development plan put into place in 2015. A shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet adopted at the UN Sustainable Development Summit in New York. At its heart are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and those goals are covered here. All right, so don't worry too much about it. It's all a bunch of double talk to cover up what they really want to do, which is reduction of population to 500 million. All right, so here's some more stuff about the components of the argument. The argument connecting 15-minute cities to a supposed depopulation agenda typically runs like this. And this is the problem I gave to AI. I go ahead and let them run loose with this, with a few guidelines, and it brought out the points that support the idea of depopulation agenda by 2030 and 2050. Again, WEF, Great Reset. Excuse me, guys. It went too far. What the devil happened here? I'm sorry. My computer's going crazy right now, guys. This has been going on, guys, with my computer. Every time I start talking about stuff and trying to get things done here, it kind of goes wanky. Don't know what's going on here with it. The Agenda 2030, sustainable population, 15-minute cities, concentrate people in dense urban areas. We all know about this, guys. We've been talking about it for years. It's not a new idea. It came around, guys. Actually, it was kind of supported back in the grandfather of Elon Musk. Remember, he's one of the founding members or founding idealists of the technocracy system, political system. And this applies to a technocracy system, what they're trying to push for. So it's tried out in Paris, guys, a few years back. And I don't know when. I didn't really dig that deep into it. But it tells us that this is all started up, guys. This all went kind of south before when they started bringing cars and automobiles into the system. And cities and urban development was developed around the idea of cars, automobiles. Everybody have a car in every drive, every car in every garage. So the 15-minute city is an urban planning concept popularized by French Colombian urbanist Carlos Morano in 2016 to 2020, built on the simple idea: every resident should be able to reach all daily necessities within a 15-minute walk, or bike ride from their home. Work, groceries, schools, healthcare, parks, and entertainment and civic services. Reduce car dependency and traffic, cut urban emissions from commuting, strengthen local communities and social ties, improvement of quality of life, especially for those without cars. Now, guys, without doing too much things, this is something I talked about years and years ago, but I didn't think about urban life. I talked about small, independent communities that connected only with other ones, loosely connected with other ones to form a society, which is basically what almost every Aborigines tribe in the world has done for decades, for eons and thousands of years, guys. And they're wanting us to return back to this idea, but in a controlled environment. How about that, guys? They finally realized that the Native American or indigenous tribes of all the lands had it right to begin with. And this is not a new idea. It is not. It's been around for millions of years, guys. Small, interconnected communities. So they're trying to push this like it's a new idea, but it's been there forever. And also, figures like Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, and all the others guys are on board with this. And, we know all this right there. And there are interlocking policy tools to manage, reduce human population with urban containment being the physical infrastructure. And we see all the stuff here about the UN documentation, WF projections, vaccine hesitancy, and excess mortality statistics post 2020 of active depopulation records. All right. Georgia Godson said limit the population to 500 million. And I said, now give me a layout how big the cities would be or how many would be to sustain the feasibility of 15-minute cities at 80,000 people. Because 80,000 people was the idea of how large a city could be, largest a urban area or a 15-minute city could be, and one of the other things. So give me an idea of where these cities would be and how many people would live in them. And all that other stuff like that. So let AI run loose. Abundant arable land and fresh water, high renewable energy, potential solar, wind, and hydro, sustainable climate and minimal ecological disruption, and proximity to existing infrastructure where possible repurposed, don't sprawl. Continental breakdown, here's where they tell us, guys, the numbers. Roughly proportional to arable land share plus renewable water viability total is 6,250 communities. All right. To hold the population at 500 million. Okay. That's what they want us to live within 6,250 communities. So they said roughly around 500 million on the Guidestones. So what we're going to do, guys, for the purpose of this video is go ahead and bump this 6,250 up to 6,600. You understand why. I don't need to express that. So where would they be? Oh, there's 6 districts, guys. That's why 6, right? There's Asia, North America, Europe, Africa, South America, and Oceania and Australia. 6 different communities. So guys, y'all remember the Hunger Games. Y'all kind of keep that in mind. 6 districts, distinct, separate districts, connected by rail. So there'd be smaller clusters of 10 to 15 cities per photo region connected by efficient rail. As I said, rail for rare intercity needs, keep 15 minutes daily life intact while allowing trade. No megacities. Everybody's on their own in their little community, and you do your own thing within reason. That would keep everything around a 500 million sustainable life. Like I say, 6,600 cities, roughly 500 million, as the Godstones suggested. How many cities? Exactly 6,250 cities worldwide, 6,600. 80,000 per city? Yeah. It's a walkable, bikeable core, 50-minute radius, which approximately is 3 to 5 kilometers squared urban area. Sustainable density of 15 to 25,000 per kilometer squared, and so forth and so forth. Pause it if you want to, guys. Get the numbers if you will. These are kind of important, what they're already pushing on. I'm going to pause right here for just a minute, guys. We live near Pittsburgh, and we're already seeing the implementation of a 15-minute city in Pittsburgh itself and the surrounding communities. I see it push more and more. The closing of streets in Pittsburgh, allowing only foot traffic, bicycle traffic, and bus traffic only in some areas. And guys, maybe you need to check around in your areas and see what's going on with your 15-minute city ideas in your urban area. While this size is feasible, matches the real 15-minute implementations, total urban goal, and everything like that. All the numbers, guys, and everything. And we still would have land left over, guys, at this point, unutilized land. The earth will regrow, repopulate itself, and heal from the influences of man on earth ever since. This, guys, is why the Hunger Games. Now, I'm going to bring this back up for a moment, for just a moment. I don't know if anybody ever saw this and everything. I was just looking at this other day, because, I'm thinking about 6, 6, and 6, guys, all right? We've got 6 districts already. I already mentioned them a while ago. Asia, South America, North America, Oceania, Europe, etc., guys. Okay, it doesn't include Middle East, guys. You notice that? It didn't include Middle East, just Asia. On the Hunger Games, if you look at it kind of odd, guys, if you go around, follow my arrow here, go around, and you see a 6. All right? Let me go again here. From here, going around, come up here to a 6. On the other end, we have the same symbol. Go around, and come into the 6. We have 6, 6, and 6 districts. And each of these 6 districts will have 2 other districts, a total of 12, which is the number of districts which is in the Hunger Games. 6 and 6, 12. So that kind of stuck out in my mind. I didn't look for it, guys. It just showed up and showed itself to me. So I don't look for these things, but they showed themselves to me, whatever it might mean. So y'all remember the movie Battlefield Earth, where these giants from another planet came to Earth to get gold from the planet? Yeah, we all heard that story before. Anunnaki, right? Yeah. And of course, there's the star of the show, John Travolta, and stuff like that. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. There's a book about it, guys. It's really very informative book. And it tells us about an alien species that came to Earth because we've got a lot of gold here. And guys, whether they want to tell you this or not, we're running out of gold. Vastly running out of gold. So here we have this right here, guys. And I've said this for a very long time because the way things look, their lust for gold, they can't really do much for it on Earth except store it. They really can't do it except sell it. And it's just still here. But if we think in the terms of Anunnaki that they want the gold, he who has the most gold gets to go. And what you see here is Donald Trump likeness, Netanyahu likeness, with handfuls of gold walking up to the Anunnaki ship, Anunnaki overlords and their ship. Now, of course, this is AI created. I designed this myself, told AI what to do. And the other thing of note, I told it, go ahead and create this in Greenland, because it's kind of obvious that we want Greenland. So, yeah. So he who has the most gold gets the go. And as was evident in the movie Battlefield Earth, about who has the most gold gets to go back to the home planet. Think about it, guys. February 19th, Trump said he's going to start letting out information about UFOs come later on in the year. He stated he doesn't know if aliens are real and has not provided any evidence of their presence on Earth. But no release date was given as of early March 2026. No major files have been publicly released. We're going to kind of see this thing about like with Epstein, you know how that goes, right? So here's another one. Trump announced he would direct federal agencies, include the Pentagon and Defense Secretary, and blah, 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 to release all they got on it, like they did with Epstein and JFK, et cetera, et cetera. There are also unverified rumors and speculation in UFO communities that Trump is going to release the information. The disclosures will start on July 8th, 2026. And this symbolically tied to the anniversary of the Roswell incident. Okay. So that's kind of a big day, guys. Excuse me. In urbanology, UFOlogy. But there's other couple things that we should take note of also going on around those days. Now, July 8th, long celebration. Yes. Sequential celebration. I actually questioned, was there another sequential, semi-quintial, or semi-centennial celebration? There was one in 1926 by Calvin Coolidge. All right. Now, he gave a speech on July 5th. Now, it's rumored that Trump is going to make a talk or start releasing information or make a talk on this on July 8th. Y'all kind of see the connection? Now, because Trump himself has said that Calvin Coolidge was a mentor, a person to look up to, and now, a model, a role model. So, yeah, he's talked about Calvin Coolidge was one of the greatest American presidents ever. And he highlighted his similarities and their similarities together about their economic and immigration policies. And yes, Calvin Coolidge was a staunch supporter of limits of immigration. So in past century, Trump said that there was three great presidents: Calvin Coolidge, Ronald Reagan, and himself. Now, it's kind of odd that he puts himself there with these guys right here, especially Calvin Coolidge, which made a big talk on the semi-centennial thing on July 5th. Trump is scheduled perhaps under the cover to make one on July 8th. The other thing is Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day movie, which is coming out, guys, coming up. Hopefully you get to watch it. And if you listen to me about how to install Kodi on a device, you'll be able to watch these movies free just about as soon as they're released. Anyway, it's coming out on June 12th, guys, a month before the supposed release information about UFO stuff. You kind of see how these are laying out. It was originally slated for May 15th, but that didn't work out for them because it was in a way, I think, Mother's Day or some other stuff like that. But the other thing that's occurring around June 12th, guys, is Trump's birthday is on the 14th, 1946. All right. In 2026, the National Park Service Day has been designated for June 14th as a free entrance to national parks for U.S. citizens, as they put out. Meaning, yeah. So, yeah, his birthday is June 14th, and Spielberg's going to release the movie 2 days before his birthday. He's 80 years old. August 12th features major astronomical events, including a rare total solar eclipse on August 12th and a deep partial lunar eclipse on the 28th, which is, 16 days later, right? Plus significant happenings like the Burning Man Festival, which starts in the end of August. Motorsports, all that other stuff is fluff stuff, guys. And even International Dog Day is on the 26th. So all those kind of pointed out, guys, but the big thing is about the rare total of the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse on the 12th and the 28th. Here's a pathway, guys. I'll go ahead and point this out. Right here's, wait, where am I at? Yeah, right here, I think is Greenland, isn't it? Yeah, right here. I'm sorry, right here. Now, this thing, the solar eclipse is going to come right across here. And guess right here, guys, is where they have the Space Force base they're talking about. Right in the pathway of this. And it goes on around here over into Northern Europe. And you can see it in all these red line areas, guys. That's where you can be able to view it from. Not us. We're not privileged this time, but it will go past this base. And we know that Trump wants Greenland. And why? Well, guys, if this thing is connected to the Anunnaki coming back and they're going to land in Greenland, who do you think they want meeting them when they come down? The guy with the most gold. So what do you think we're attacking Iran for? August 12th, total solar eclipse. August 28th, a deep partial lunar eclipse. 93% of the moon covered, visible across Americas, Europe, Africa, and East Pacific. Here's another things. World Wide Web Day, Hiroshima Day on the 6th. On the 9th is Nagasaki Day. Also on the 12th is International Youth Day. And some other days that we might want to take note of. This is just, general things, guys, coming up. The premier meteor event, the Perseid meteor event, begins July 17th and continues on to August 24th. The solar eclipse is on the 12th of August. The lunar eclipse is on the 28th, and which peaks on August 12th and the 13th, offering up to 75 plus meteors per hour. Another notable summer shower includes another one, guys, the Capricornoids. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Alpha Capricorn is corns. I'm sorry. I'm not good at this stuff. It's going to be starting on July 12th, also the same day that the peak of the Perseid flowers meteors are going on. Guys, these are kind of things that just don't happen normally, right? This is like a flux of events, different things going on at the same time, all in one small period of time in the world. So we got two meteor showers going on at the same time on August 12th. The start of one and in the middle of another. The first one, Perseid, or whatever you call it, Perseids, is August 24th is the end date, and the Capricornids is August 15th. Sorry for my pronunciation, guys. I'm a redneck. At the peak of the meteor shower, the Perseids, you'll see up to 150 meteors per hour. You might even catch fireballs too. So it'll be active between July 17th and August 24th, with peak showing on the 13th. Pay attention, guys. Best time for viewing after midnight and before dawn. Find a dark sky location, you know that. And you don't need nothing special, just bring a blanket and a chair. Again, the dates, the peak hours is the 12th through the 13th. And here it says up to 50 to 75 plus meteors per hour. Best time to watch, again. And they coming out of Perseus constellation. In Christian mythology, prophecy, 2026 is seen as a significant year for divine restructuring, overflow, and breakthrough, marking a potential turning point where old systems crumble and new alignments with God will emerge, where old world order crumbles and a new world order will emerge, characterized by a theme of voice wars, realignment, and a call to bold action for the church. The Hebrew year 5,786, which overlaps 2026, suggests themes of completion, tav, fire, shin, and voice with a peh, pointing to a time of transformation through speaking the truth and connecting heaven and earth. Specific prophetic interpretations mention a final Jubilee period leading to the second coming and a 1,000-year kingdom and a call to fisher of men for evangelism. And this is the Hebrew prophecy, guys, right now that we're seeing going on in front of our eyes as we talk, as we breathe. Hebrew year, tav is completion, shin, fire, peh is mouth or voice, and vav is connection. signifying finishing work through fire and speaking truth to build bridges. So through fire, and what we've been doing in the Middle East, fire. And have they been speaking the truth? Somebody has, but not us. And Trump is known as building bridges to peace. Even in Joel 2:25, verse 25, the scripture cited for a theme of recovery. Essence, Jubilee cycles, interpretations connecting 2026 to ancient calendar prophecies about the end times. They're forcing this, guys, into being. They're forcing a false prophecy. They're forcing the prophecy into effort. They're going to present a false Messiah. They're going to present a false prophet, then a false prophet, then a false Messiah, because they don't want you believing anything. Then they will present a Messiah that you will believe. So it's a double fake, if you will, triple fake, if you will. They want you to get along with it. They got Operation, Blue Beam and all kinds of stuff, guys like that, to get you to believe, even voices in your head. All right. And you won't believe your own eyes. So 250th anniversary of the United States is semi-quintessential, accumulates on July 4th. Remember, UFO released on July 8th, celebrating 250 years of America's independence and freedom, America 250 and Freedom 250, or organizing statewide festivals. And here's the official name, the quarter millennium, the core date, Nonpartisan America 250 Commission, and the White House Task Force on celebrating. And even the football leagues are getting in on it, guys. They're going to have fancy footballs and field stencils starting week 18th through the playoffs. How about that? Thank goodness for the football to save the United States. And guys, here's another thing I want to bring out. This is the official seal, thing that they're showing for 250th anniversary. Again, notice how these lines flow. We go round right here, with kind of almost completing a 6. We have another 6 right here, and another 6 over here. 6, 6, 6. In a stylized, if you will, way, but I do see it as 666. Whether you do or not, that's up to you. Leave comments below. This is from the Economist magazine cover in August of 2025. You can see a lot of stuff going on, guys, but a lot of it doesn't look good for the United States, which is the 250th anniversary right here in this picture right here, the cake, and bombs and missiles and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. You can look this up yourself, guys, and find it and study it yourself. I've looked at it over again, guys. There's so much going on here that it's hard to cover it any one time. So up to you to look at it. And one other image, guys, bring it up right here. The Time magazine cover for this month. And it was titled, What Happens After the Ayatollah? So I want you to look at this for a minute, guys. See the back of the Ayatollah and his turban or whatever you call it on his head. I'm not familiar with that. And the people, faces people, red, anger, scared, frightened, a fist of fighting, resistance, and a peace sign, and all these faces, guys. But one of the things I noticed yesterday, and I brought Anna down here, yes, her name is Anna, not Judy, is that this cape, this cloak, looks like the bell, a Liberty Bell, even with the part that hangs that the bell would have on the top. Ding dong, guys. And the fire and the smoke in the background. So this isn't about Iran, guys. If you look at these people in the image right here, these do not look like people from Iran. They look like you, me, and your neighbors. Red, burning, fire in the background, smoke in the background, the burning of the United States. Y'all think it's over? It's not. He who has the most gold gets to go. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this. Leave a comment what you think. Again, I hope you have a groovy day. Be nice out there to somebody, guys. It's the best thing you can do. Bring brightness to somebody's world, including your own. Think good thoughts, and it brings good results. Later, taters.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.